Come on, almost there. Come on, you got it, you're almost there. Come on, Corey. Where's Corey now? Well, we're just outside of Boston in Natick, Massachusetts at USAREUM, the U.S. Army Research Institute of Environmental Medicine. And this module is going to be on high altitude physiology. When you're at high altitude, you're in one of the most stressful environments you can be in because the oxygen that's available for your use is greatly reduced. And so your body goes through a whole series of systemic adaptations that tries to accommodate that low oxygen availability. And we're here with the Altitude Chamber, one of the premier chambers in the world, where they've done studies for years on taking people up to high altitude.
So what we're going to do today is prep you for your PhysioFlow. What the PhysioFlow is going to do is give us a measure of your cardiac output, along with some simple measures like heart rate and stroke volume. We're going to do 3 EKG leads and 3 leads that are going to be more for our cardiac output measure.
They've done studies taking them to the top of Everest at 29,000 feet. Now we're not going to take Corey that high, we're only going to go to about 10,000 feet, but we're going to have him exercise to maximum, both at sea level and at altitude. And so we're going to see how he responds differently at those 2 elevations and how his body tries to compensate for that.
Take off your shirt. So I'm going to glove up for sanitary reasons. We don't know what we're getting into here.
Good idea.
So Corey's going to have some kind of fun now because we're going to be looking at his maximum exercise capacity, both at sea level and then again at 10,000 feet in the chamber. And we're going to measure a variety of things that will give us an indication of what's going on in his body. So we're going to have these electrodes on his chest that will measure heart rate, stroke volume, and cardiac output. So how much blood he's pumping from the heart per minute. And he'll have a little device on his finger, the pulse oximeter, that will measure his oxygen saturation. So how much oxygen is being delivered to his tissues during the exercise. The headgear and mouthpiece he'll be wearing will feed into a machine that'll tell us how much oxygen he's using to do the work, and then how much air is coming in and out of his lungs, so his ventilation rate. We'll get a sense of how much pain he's in with the RPE scale, the rate of perceived exertion, so he'll be pointing to a number there, and then we'll of course get the maximum watts that he achieves during the test. After the test, we'll have a sense of how his brain was impacted by this low O2, so we'll give him a reaction time test on an iPhone, and then finally we'll see if he's feeling at all sick, so if he has any symptoms of acute mountain sickness using the Lake Louise questionnaire. But with all those together, we'll have a good sense of how that lack of O2 or that reduction in O2 at 10,000 feet will impact his exercise performance, his brain, and how he feels. I'm here with my good friends Steve Musa and Chuck Fulco, and they run the show here in the Altitude Chamber. And so since they run the show, they're going to be taking Corey through this test. So every 2 minutes, he's going to pedal harder and harder against a greater resistance, and he's going to go until he can't go anymore. So this is going to be his maximum capacity, his maximum aerobic capacity. So we're ready to go, and Corey, are you all set to do the test? All right, let's do it.
Do it.
Periodically, I'm going to pull this sign up. This is perceived exertion.
Sorry, it's gonna.
Just closing the door on us.
On our way to 10,000.
Woo! You lightheaded yet?
What level are we at?
2,000. Okay, we're at 4,000.
Not even in Denver.
Not even in Denver.
Corey, we're at 10,000 feet. Yes. And we're going to do a maximal oxygen consumption test exactly as we did it in Simone. Okay. And we're going to compare every workload up here to what we did in Simone. So everything's identical. So are you ready for it?
Yeah, ready.
All right.
Let's do this.
Okay, Corey, you start pedaling, please. We're right at 50 watts. Very light workload.
Okay, 50 watts.
Yep.
Okay, we're only now at 100 watts. We've been there for about 20 seconds. And look at this. Corey's saturation is falling. His level has dropped down to about 90% versus staying stable at roughly 97, 98% at low altitude.
Physiology grand.
Where we're going up to
150 watts.
liters per minute. The important thing is his oxygen in his blood is still 98% of his hemoglobin is saturated. See again at sea level that was 108 millimeters of mercury.
Burn.
50 watts.
All right, Corey. Going up to 250 now.
250. This is where it's really tough for you. You're almost there. It's a cardiac output. Cut it out.
Come on, Corey. T, come on.
Come on, Corey.
Do it.
Keep going. Feel good. Like, how's it feel?
Keep going, keep going.
Finish the stage.
Come on, push hard, push hard. 20.
You got it. Push it, push it, push it.
10-minute mark. 10-minute mark.
Okay.
What do we call it? What do we call it? That's it, Corey.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, bring it down.
Those
Once you
legs
keep
going.
those legs going.
How you feeling?
Excellent.
Come on, Corey.
325? Come on, push, push, push. Push if you can. I think that's it. Okay. All right.
Keep going, Corey. Yeah.
Heart rate max 194. VO2 max was around 3.7. We'll put this.
Boy, that was a heck of an effort.
Yeah. Excellent, Corey.
All right. Basically 49.5 milliliters of oxygen consumed per kilogram body weight per minute was Corey's VO2 max at sea
Come
level.
on, Corey. Just finish up the stage.
Finish up the stage.
You got it, you got it.
Come on, keep it going.
How much time on the stage? Come on, Corey. Keep those legs going. Keep those
Come on,
legs.
keep the convolutions up. Come on, keep it going.
Come on, Corey.
Well, and over here they have two chambers that are identical, except one is the Tropic Chamber and one is the Arctic Chamber. And if you want to come over here, is probably the best way of describing it. The Tropic Chamber is capable of going from 0 to 165 degrees, relative humidity from very low to very high. Winds up to 40 miles an hour. They can rain up to 4 inches per hour.
It's amazing.
And it's huge, as we'll see once we go in there. We have two 6-men treadmills. And the whole time, everybody will be outfitted with rectal probes, thermistors, sweat capsules, and so forth, so that everything is known in real time.
Does it feel like the wind's going up?
Yes.
Crank up the wind. Can we crank it up?
Oh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah,
this
no, it's nice.
This is unbelievable. Yeah, I can feel the
I feel like
radiant
I'm on
heat.
a beach in Hawaii with the breeze.
I feel like I'm about to be abducted by aliens.
Parameters that you need, environmental parameters, we can duplicate it here.
It's amazing.
And also heat, cold as well. And guys are all over the world, and we have to be able to simulate their environment.
A lot of toys here.
Yeah.
No wonder you've been doing research here for how many years?
33 years.
33 years.